Urgent Las Vegas Raiders fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Las Vegas Raiders updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, folks, today I've got some incredible news that's going to shake up the NFL landscape, especially for all you Raiders fans out there. We've been following the league for decades, seen plenty of trades, draft surprises, and offseason moves, but what's happening right now with the Raiders' division rivals, the Chicago Bears, could have some major implications for Las Vegas. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does the Bears' potential blockbuster trade have to do with the Raiders? Well, everything, my friends. Because in the NFL, timing, talent, and strategic moves can change the entire dynamic of a division, and this situation with the Bears could open up some unique opportunities for the Raiders. Let's dive into what's happening with the Bears. They've been quite active this offseason, making significant changes on their offense, bringing in new coaches, and trying to build around their young quarterback, Caleb Williams. Now, the Bears front office isn't just sitting still, they're eyeing the defensive side of the ball as well. And here's where things get interesting. Reports are swirling about a possible blockbuster trade involving Trey Hendrickson, a standout pass rusher from the Cincinnati Bengals. Hendrickson has been seeking a new contract for over a year now, and with the Bengals recently splurging on their star wide receivers, they might be in a position where they can't or won't match Hendrickson's asking price anymore. Imagine that, Hendrickson, a four-time Pro Bowler and one of the league's most dangerous edge rushers, potentially landing in Chicago. His contract situation has become quite public. Just recently, he made a statement to ESPN that sent shockwaves through the NFL community. He expressed frustration over the lack of communication from the Bengals front office and revealed that no negotiations have taken place since the draft. Hendrickson's words were pretty stark. He's been waiting patiently, hoping for a resolution, but it seems like the Bengals have moved on, especially after their recent big investments in their offense. Now, here's the critical part. Hendrickson's market value is sky high, and he's not a cheap commodity. He's 30 years old but still at the top of his game, with 75 sacks over the past 5 seasons and a reputation as a dominant force on the defensive line. The interesting thing for the Bears, or even for the Raiders, is that a trade could be very feasible. Hendrickson's current contract situation makes him a prime trade candidate, especially since he's openly voiced his dissatisfaction and wants out. The Bengals are likely to look for draft capital in return, possibly picks that could help them rebuild for the future, while the Bears could see Hendrickson as a perfect piece to bolster their pass rush immediately. Now, let's think about the Raiders for a moment. We all know that their defense has been a topic of concern in recent seasons, and adding a player of Hendrickson's caliber could be a game-changer. Imagine pairing him with Montez Sweat, another elite pass rusher, forming a formidable duo coming off the edge. That would instantly transform the Raiders' pass rush, giving them a significant advantage in the AFC West, which is increasingly becoming a division filled with explosive offenses like Kansas City, Denver, and the Chargers. The Raiders need to be aggressive this offseason, especially if they want to take the next step and become serious contenders. And here's the thing, this kind of move wouldn't just boost their pass rush. It would send a message across the league that the Raiders are serious about competing at the highest level. Adding Hendrickson would also send a signal to other teams that the Raiders are willing to make bold moves, to go after proven talent, and to invest in their defense, which has been a work in progress for quite some time. The fanbase is eager to see that kind of aggressive approach, especially after the team's recent playoff appearance and the desire to push even further this season. But let's not forget about the bigger picture. The NFL landscape is always shifting. The Bengals might have to make a tough decision here. They could opt to trade Hendrickson rather than risk losing him for nothing, especially since he's in the final year of his contract. A trade now could net them valuable draft picks to help build for the future, and it's not like the Bengals don't have other priorities, like solidifying their offense and giving Joe Burrow more weapons. Now, for the Raiders, acquiring Hendrickson wouldn't come cheap. They'd likely have to give up some draft capital or perhaps a player or two to make it work. But considering the impact he could have on their defense, it might be a worthwhile investment. Plus, the Raiders have shown in recent years that they're not afraid to spend or make bold moves. Remember the offseason leading up to their 2018 season when they traded for Khalil Mack? That move transformed their defense overnight and set the tone for their playoff run that year. Well, Hendrickson could be that kind of difference maker again. And speaking of the Raiders' current roster, the team has been steadily building around their core players. Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, and Jimmy Garoppolo are all key pieces, but to truly compete in the tough AFC, they need that relentless pass rush. Defensive coordinator Patrick Graham has been working tirelessly to develop that unit, but adding a proven pass rusher like Hendrickson could elevate everything. It's about creating pressure, forcing turnovers, and putting the opposing quarterback on the back foot. Hendrickson's ability to get to the quarterback, his relentless motor and technique, would make him a perfect fit for the Raiders' defensive scheme. Now, I want to take a moment to reflect on the history of the Raiders' defense. Since moving to Las Vegas, the team has been trying to find that identity, that dominant edge rusher who can consistently pressure quarterbacks. They've made some smart additions in the draft and free agency, but they've still lacked that consistent threat off the edge. Hendrickson, with his track record and recent production, could be that missing piece. And let's not forget, the Raiders' defense has often been the backbone of their success in years past. With the right pieces, they can become one of the league's top units again. Looking ahead, the NFL trade deadline and offseason moves are always full of surprises. The league is a chess match, and teams like the Bengals, Bears, and Raiders are all trying to position themselves for a deep playoff run. For the Raiders, this could be a defining offseason move. If they can pull off a trade for Hendrickson, it could set the tone for their entire season. It's about building a defense that complements their offensive firepower and makes them a scary matchup for anyone. The AFC is loaded with talent, but with the right additions, the Raiders could climb to the top of the division and make some serious noise come January. And now, Las Vegas Raiders fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this potential move? Would you like to see Hendrickson in silver and black? Do you believe he's the missing piece that can push the Raiders over the edge? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. The offseason is just getting started, and there's plenty more news and rumors on the horizon. So stay tuned, keep your eyes on the league, and let's see how the story unfolds. The Raiders are always in the mix, and with moves like this, they're positioning themselves for a serious shot at the playoffs and maybe even a deep run. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and activate those notifications so you never miss an update. I'll be back soon with more breaking news, analysis, and inside info about your Las Vegas Raiders. Until then, stay safe, stay passionate, and let's keep the Raider spirit alive.